In the age of MTV, rock anthems, and bad haircuts, you play a manager who is leading a band of misfits on a roller coaster ride to stardom. But are you ready to take this challenge? Let's find out.
You need to squash that bug that lives inside your head. You need to squash that bug that lives inside your head. You need to squash that bug that lives inside your head.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Warwick, and welcome to Warwick Reviews with Rockbeasts. Now, I do want to say a big shout out to Team 17 for the preview copy. Really appreciate that. And like I said, this is a preview copy of Rockbeasts. And what we're going to be doing is checking out a bit about the game, what it's all about, and my thoughts and feelings so far. I will say this is a preview, so there may be things still being worked on. So this is not the final game. So anything I do touch on initially, do keep that in mind. But before we start, hi, hope you're doing well. Again, my name is Warwick, and I do reviews not just in video games, although you will find many on indies and AAA titles, but also on tech products, PC products, unboxings, and also some funny clips as well. Those clips are actually from my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Warwick. And also you will find me on various socials where you may be. But like I said, we'll go through Rockbeasts and see what it's all about. So with the game, basically, the setting and backstory is you are leading a band of misfits on a roller coaster ride to stardom in the age of MTV, rock anthems, and bad haircuts. Rockbeasts is a story-driven, role-playing management game that puts you in the shoes of a manager of an up-and-coming rock band. So how the game works is exactly how it is. It's story-driven, it's role-based, so you're working as this manager. You don't know why you're in this town. It seems to be some little run-down town. You've heard about this local band and you're thinking, you know what, they have potential. And so you come in trying to put them on a right track to get stardom. Now, your motives might be personal, might be for money, might be whatever, which I'm sure we'll find out throughout the game. But for now, you do play this manager and you got these misfits together and they need a bit of leadership. So this is where you come in. So you play the rock and roll band manager. So as I said, the band has real potential, but they need your help to live up to it. So their tunes can revolutionize the music industry and redefine genres. But what good is a great song if no one hears it? So it's your job to land your clients a record deal and negotiate the terms on their behalf. And so that's basically the game. I will say from the right off the bat, the art style is really, really cool. Like I love the art style of this game. It reminds me of things sort of like BoJack Horseman. If you ever watched that, that sort of show sort of the anamorphic animal sort of like humanoid type things. Really, really colorful, really bright, really vivid. And it really brings the game to life, which I really like. And so that's great. Another good thing that I did notice is from my whole playthrough, everything is voiced, which is amazing because sometimes with story-driven games, sometimes there may be a lot of text and sometimes there'll be a lot of reading. You know, it's not for everybody. With this, it's fully voiced and including yourself, you even voice as well. So even with text, you can have captions on, but with it all, it is all freely dialogued throughout the game. So you do get invested in it through that. But like I said, you start off and you got this band and you're learning the ropes, basically how the game works. So the mechanics of the game. So one of the things is talking to like people around, so cafes, shops, businesses, record labels, record stores, etc. And there will be various tasks depending on what you're doing. So your goal for the first part is basically getting these guys breakfast because they haven't eaten yet. So you are spending money. You are encouraged to spend money because if you don't spend money, you don't make money. And it even goes through the game. So each sort of step, it will tell you how the game works, what it does, why it does it, and what your goal is. You know, end game is to get these guys basically making lots of money, becoming famous, because then you succeed from that. But with certain things, so like speaking to a person in the diner, speaking to them, sort of band activities, it will raise sort of stats at the top. So health, hype, and mood. And depending on how much you got of that, will depend on what activities you can do. So there will be activities later on where you want to sort of get like some money or focus, which you need for like sort of playing sort of gigs. So you need to sort of do certain activities. So like going to karaoke or eating or doing some activities, and they will cost you certain stats. So if your health is like 40 and your hype's 10, you may need more hype. So then there's ways to build that by spending money. So it's all about sort of stat management as well, because again, you want your band to do the best they can for these gigs coming up. So One of them is the stats. Nothing as well is sort of equipment. So again, you speak to people, you sort of get like, oh, I'm going to speak to this person. I'll fix that amp, for example. So there's like mini games through that, and you are leading to each gig. So you have like an organizer, and it will tell you like, oh, this is the next big event. You have X amount of events before the big one. So you've got time management. So you've got like morning, afternoon, evening, and events, or night. And so it's like, oh, okay, I've got 6 turns before the event. So which means I can do certain things to get them ready, spend money, make money, do leaflets, promotion, speaking, rehearsals, all sorts of things. But with that, it's not just about managing the band, it's also about the music. So what's great about this is all the songs are original recordings for this game outside of background music. That is copyright, but you can change the settings. But the main songs that the band sings are original recordings. And so you're not just organizing them, managing them, you're also playing a rhythm game as well, which is a nice touch. I wasn't expecting that. So when you do sort of set up the gig, as I said, is management. So you got like set like the intro, solos, outros, bar 1, bar 2, pick songs, depending on what songs do well. Like, oh, they'll give you more stats or XP, depending on what you do. If you have too much XP, you can't continue because the skill levels aren't there. So you have to sort of manage that element. But once you've all got that together, you're ready to go, you start playing rhythm game. So through keyboard and mouse, you have the triggers on the screen. So like space, WASD, and depending how well you do is how much XP or bonus XP you get from that. And then you level up, and then it will unlock more things and basically progress. Again, like a band. And as you're going through, you are working with the band, but also learning a bit about the characters as well. There are wonderful different types of characters here. And as we go through the story, you start learning more about them, more their personal lives, what makes them tick, and even yourself as well. Like you start learning, okay, why are we here? What's our story? And again, I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't want to give anything away, but there is a story and like a proper emotion with the characters that I've noticed throughout my playthrough so far that invests you outside of sort of the music and the management side of things. And so far, I had a really, really good time with this. Again, this is a preview copy, so there are still things being worked on. I did check the settings. Some of the settings are decent. Hopefully there'll be more options for like sort of languages and stuff, and maybe other options for like changing the music. So with rhythm game, like sort of the tempo, if you've ever played rhythm games, you might spend hours trying to get the rhythm just right because of the delay if you use like wireless headphones, for example. But again, this is a preview copy, and so the team is still working on it. So hopefully there'll be things that they will work on depending on feedback that they get. But so far, really, really impressed. I really like this. Again, I really like the art style. I'm a big fan of like shows like BoJack Horseman, so this really appeals to me. And I do feel like with it being voiced and sort of the colourful characters and just style of it, it really brings you into the game. And it makes you sort of care as well. Like the management side is actually quite in depth. Like you got to manage a lot of things. Like you got your money, you got your cash flow, health, hype, mood. If they're low, you can't do much with the band, which means that if you go to do a concert, you're not going to be good, which means that will hinder you. And then you got like conflict potentially with certain characters and stuff with any old good band, I guess. But yeah, so far, really, really good time with this. So looking forward to seeing the game when it's fully released and check it out then. But for now, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Team 17 for the preview copy. I really appreciate that. Also, I will say, I showed it earlier, but I really like the style. So when you start the game up, you have the Team 17 logo, but it changes to the classic Team 17. And for me, I was already on board. Like I saw that, and that reminded me, just brought me back to like games like Worms back in the day. So it was really cool to see that little touch. And it's just something little. It's like, you know what? The people work on this, they seem to care, which is really good because you want to play a game or something that, you feel like the people making it care about what they're doing and what they're saying. But anyway, thank you Team 17 for the preview copy. Again, the game will be coming out hopefully later on this year. Game is to be confirmed. Again, my name is Warwick. I don't just do reviews, although I do reviews and previews of videos on unboxings, on products, all sorts. But also you will find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Warwick. And also find me on various socials where you may be. But for now, please take care. And we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.